Hello and welcome back to the RattleMind podcast. Yes, I'm saying the intro again because YouTube is a pain in the butt and it has decided that the slightest sound must be copywritten. So,
I mean, did it say like how much of the intro was copywritten already?
well, what happened, what it said is there's a copyright issue with your video. It technically gave me a timestamp for it, which is the exact length of the intro.
Hmm.
So, pain in the butt is copyright.
Go figure.
Yep. All right. How's your mouth doing? You said you went to the dentist yesterday.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Um, I almost forgot about it. So, Sunday night, um, I remember I had told Beth, I was like, um, yeah, hopefully it'll be slow at work and I can get on my computer and hang out and blah blah blah. And then she goes to bed because time zones, and then I'm laying down later that night and I'm just looking through crap on my phone, and um I have an email reminder about my appointment, and I was just kind of like, shit. I literally almost went to work instead of my dentist appointment, which would have been so bad. So bad, because I knew I was getting a cleaning and fillings, and I have put off dental work for so long, and I don't want to end up, you know, gumming it at age 40. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to save my teeth here. I've had a lot of work done already. Last year I had 2 root canals and crowns put on those, obviously in separate visits, and I had various fillings and whatnot. Um, this year, um, I decided to start doing cleaning and fillings because that's all that's left are fillings. And they decided to get 5 fillings out of the way in one sitting yesterday,
Wow.
which I'm cool with because it's going to speed this along.
Right.
Plus, in the time between last year and this year, I've had some new cavity development. I'm so bad about taking care of my teeth. I need to be a lot more preemptive. Um, but yeah, so I go in, the cleaning part was quick and easy or whatever, and my appointment started at 10. By 11, they were numbing up my gums because there were 2 on the upper left, 2 on the upper right, and 1 on the lower right. So they had numbed everything up at 11, and had started drilling and doing their thing by 11:20ish. I didn't get out to my car until 5 till 2 p.m.
Wow.
I was there yesterday for 4 hours. Uh, and of course, by the time I got done, my entire upper lip practically was all numb, except for like a sliver in the middle, right? Because of how they had to
Right.
numb it. And like, I'm trying to talk to the lady afterwards to schedule the next appointment and make my payment. I was like covering my mouth because I felt so silly trying to talk. And like I found that if I like held my lip down like with 2 fingers, like if I just held my upper lip like still with the 2 fingers, I'm doing it right now, and I could pretty much form the words I needed to, not as clearly as I am now, but like if I just like held my lip down, I could like sound better and talk better. Um, it was hysterical though. I was like, bear with me. I'm so sorry. Except it sounded more like with me here. well, I guess the TH sound wasn't hard to make, but like B's and P's, and I was tired, and oh my gosh. And I like had to send Beth a message later, like, so I'm not gonna be around much today. And then I went to work today and just like I've been so tired. Like, not that like I had to go through a lot of like, physical activity, but I've been so tired ever since. Like, I think my brain is like just wants to just relax and forget it ever happened.
Right.
And like it's like, gonna take time for that material to like really like it like my bite is normal and everything. But like you can still kind of feel it there a little bit. It's just gonna take a little bit of time for it to like really conform to like how you bite and stuff like that, and for it to like really smooth out, basically is what I'm trying to say. And
Yeah.
and it still tastes weird. Like I have a weirdest taste in my mouth still, which could have been from all the anesthetic, or not anesthetic, sorry. Painkiller. Or number. Pain number. I can't.
Anesthetic is technically correct, so you were right.
Oh, okay. Number and anesthetic. I remember what they did was they did a first shot, which tasted so nasty. It was one of the nastiest tastes you'll ever taste. Is like that first shot that really numbs the gums, because the second shot is the one that hurts if you can feel it. And it wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be, because last year when I was getting fillings and stuff, it sucked. I hated it with a fiery burning passion, and like I don't know what they did different yesterday. It might have been that first shot. That first shot was so gentle, despite tasting like absolute rancid shit. And it's not like it gets in your mouth either, it's just like it just happens from inside.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it, but I mean they're shooting this liquid into your gums, so it's all connected, with your taste buds and stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, it was nasty. I probably wouldn't have tasted it if it had been like the liquid itself,
Right, because it would have numbed your tongue, so you wouldn't taste, but then you'd be drooling out your mouth the entire time.
Well, no, I just think that part of what made the taste so horrible was it being injected.
Yeah, that could be.
Is my theory. I have no idea. Obviously, I'm not a professional, so.
Yeah. The mouth is a weird thing.
Yeah. So what they apparently they have a toothpaste though that's like really high fluoride content, and they said that they can just sell it to me there, or they can write a prescription for it. So if it has a prescription, it must be pretty good. I haven't used it yet, but I did buy a little bottle of it. This bottle was, it probably isn't quite as much as like a normal big tube,
Yeah.
But it was like $23.
Wow.
But if it does its job, I mean, and prevents these cavities from getting worse, maybe I can actually like, stop them in their tracks, because I'm tired of getting fillings, man.
Right.
So my next appointment's in November, and I have 6 fillings left. I'm trying to keep it at 6. And but like I'm only doing 3 at my next appointment.
Yeah, doing all 6 would probably be weird again.
I mean, it would be nice to get it all over with, though, for real.
Right.
I'm very much a rip the Band-Aid off kind of girl, Just rip it off, get it done.
I will admit to something that's probably going to sound gross to everyone. I have not seen a dentist in 7 or 8 years.
No, don't feel bad. You scared me. Okay, I before I started going last year, I didn't have insurance or anything. Until I finally was um, I had this chipped tooth, the very back tooth on the bottom right,
Yeah.
and I went to a dentist, paid out of pocket, and this guy fixed it, quote unquote, and then a month or two later, it broke off again. So I
Yeah.
went back, and he fixed it again, and I was in tears because I thought he was going to charge me again, but he didn't. So I was a little embarrassed about that, but I didn't know he wasn't going to charge me. You know, a year later, so I was like, I know that's not the only tooth that needs help, so I'm just going to sign up for dental through work, and that's what I did. And then a year after he had redone the fillings on that chipped tooth, it chipped off again. Like, this fucking idiot. So I found a place literally a few blocks away from me through, because insurance companies send you the list,
Right.
so I just called them and asked for a list of places. And there was one, it's 2 minutes away. Literally, it's fantastic. And I went there. These ladies are so wonderful. I They're real lifesavers. And I was like, I just need to fix all this, and just waved around my whole mouth and jaw. I was like, I just need to fix it all of it. I want to start that process. So they got me in, they got my x-rays, they were so friendly. They were some of the friendliest ladies ever. And then they scheduled. Oh yeah, I think when I went in to do the x-rays was when they were going to go ahead and fix that chip tooth. And the lady was like, she called it a sloth filling. And she was like, I don't know why people do these sloth fillings, they never work. And I was like, huh. Good to know, I guess.
Yeah, it sounds like it would, because it says a sloth, which means I would assume it's like a slow curing goo type of thing,
Maybe.
They just inject
I
the
have
goo in there
no
and hope it
idea.
works.
Or maybe he knew it was temporary.
Yeah.
And that's how he gets his business. I don't know, but
But yeah, I have not been in dentist for 7 to 8 years, maybe longer.
oh yeah. I was saying all that to say that until I had that chipped tooth that was bugging the ever loving crap out of me, I think it'd been over 10 years since I went to the dentist. And I think that's a lot more common
Yeah, it
than
probably is.
you think. Once we grow up, we why would we make ourselves do all those unfun things,
Right.
Reality is, I mean, well, that and everyone's broke. Everyone's broke.
Yep.
And every penny that's taken from your paycheck, whether you need the dental care or not, or health care or not, it's a penny out of your groceries. And it's with climbing groceries prices. My McDonald's finally climbed, super hiked their prices too. $5 for a chicken sandwich now. It's just, yeah, it's getting ridiculous. So it's not very motivating for people to get all these these things they need to be able to take care of themselves.
Yep.
So and dental work's not cheap. I mean, fillings aren't quite as bad. It's depending on what tooth it is. It could, and what dentist it is for that matter. It could be $100 to $200, $300 if they're really expensive,
Yep.
So I'd say between $100 and $300. I know that's a broad range, but it's not as bad as the root canal, which is going to run you in the thousands.
Yeah.
So that's a process too. It's an actual tooth surgery, So it's they go in and they got to take out all the dead roots and tissues and stuff. And oh no, the dentist has to grind down the tooth first. They grind that sucker down, and they put a temporary cap on it, and then the root canal people go in and they remove all that crap, put the temporary cap back on, and then you go to the dentist, and they had already taken molds and stuff, and then they do the like permanent crown. So I have 2 permanent crowns in my mouth right now. And if it weren't for my mother helping me with this, it would have been a really rough year financially, because that they are not cheap, and you really are saving money in the long run if you want to save your teeth. Some people are just like, when they rot, I'll yank them out. Eventually, I'll get dentures, and
Yeah,
like, I can't bring myself to let that happen. That's just me, though.
Yep. I mean, I have this, I kind of want to get a mold of all my teeth as they are while healthy, just in case I lose a tooth. So the dentist could always go, oh, hey, here's a mold for your teeth. Okay, we can just make you a new tooth. You got the exact shape there. It's like, yes.
I get the sentiment, but it's so unnecessary, because like they're just gonna they'll make their own, and then they can shape it however they need to, so you don't even notice. But I get that. Like, I am that level of, I want to not lose any of my teeth.
Yeah.
But like, she literally called my teeth cavity prone because of the new cavities I had gotten since last year. Like, I was like, yeah, I should probably get that toothpaste. But it's funny because they actually offered something I've never been offered before at a dentist office, so it must be pretty new, but they offered a fluoride treatment. It might not be new, they just might not have thought I would have needed that until now.
Yeah.
But there are fluoride treatments that help with like long-term cavity prevention and stuff like that. Since I decided to get the toothpaste, I figured that'd be kind of redundant. It's essentially a fluoride treatment in itself,
Right. When I was younger, I think they did a full fluoride treatment of some sort on my teeth, because I have not gotten cavities since I've gotten my adult teeth.
So even though you haven't been to the dentist in like 8 years, you don't have a single cavity?
Nope. As far as I know.
Okay, I want to see those x-rays, buddy. Pixar didn't happen, but...
I mean, the worst thing that I've had, and this was the last dental checkup I had a massive plaque buildup behind the bottom of my front teeth, my jaw, where they had to literally pick all the plaque off. But other than that, they were like, yeah, your teeth are perfectly fine. Oh yeah, you also have a setback tooth, and if you ever want it fixed, we could set you up with an appointment to see if we can do like Invisaligns or something like that, or if we have to.
Oh, that'll definitely come out of pocket.
Yeah.
That's cosmetic. Ugh. Like, my friend Sunny's nieces need braces, but the insurance won't cover it because it's cosmetic, and it's like, it's so much more than that.
Yeah, that's my
There's
problem.
mental health involved. They're young and in school. Like, it could be distracting. It could get worse if you let teeth do whatever the hell they want. I hate insurance.
So do I. I mean, when they were doing all this health insurance laws and stuff back in Obama's term, I was like, yeah, it would be great. Yeah, okay, I think this will be great. And then it's like, you did nothing to help insurance at all, did you? You just said everyone must have insurance. I mean, what they should have done was said, health insurance includes optical and dental insurance. It must be covering these whole body insurance is a must. That would have made exact sense to me, because if I can't eat, my health declines. If I can't see, I'm running into things.
Right.
So
Running into traffic.
so where is, you got a big disconnect. These things are not optional things for some people. You gotta have that type of thing. Uh, so yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I need to do is get on my work's health insurance next open enrollment.
Yeah.
Apparently, being divorced is causing problems with their
Yeah,
insurance.
I bet.
Despite being a legal guardian to his nieces, the same friend. But whatever. Um, uh, what else was I gonna say? I'm pulling a rye. I can't remember what I was gonna say 10 seconds ago.
Well, I know that when I get a job, I'm going to have to work there at least a year, so I might as well get the health insurance and stuff. So,
Yeah, I'm even thinking about doing a 401k. You can never start that too soon.
yeah, I mean, those are good. There's risk with them because what a 401k is that you're allowing them to invest your retirement money or funds into the stock market for you in an attempt to make you more money for when you retire.
I mean,
It's
I don't know. That wasn't. I didn't really read that part. The main part that they tell us is that they match everything.
which is
Um,
awesome when a
that's
company
gotta
does that.
be exactly, and that's gotta be something you can opt out of. Like if you don't want to get involved in. I mean, my company is big enough though. I could probably trust them with that, honestly.
Well, what they do is they do a money management group. Usually it would be like BlackRock or something like that. And
Yeah.
most of the time you break even no matter what. And sometimes you'll actually get a good investment and you'll survive, get more than you expect. So realistically, a 401k is still good to have no matter what.
Yeah, yeah. And the matching too is like that's pretty damn cool actually. So
Right. And then if you want extra insurance for retirement, what you want to do is, yet again, it does the exact same thing as a 401k, but you take at least $10,000. I know that's a lot of money. And you put it into a CD with a bank, which is certified divestment or something like that, is what that stands for. And they basically do the exact same thing, but you're guaranteed a flat interest rate no matter what. And it's usually you can get a 1 year, a 5 year, or a 10 year on that. And your
is
interest
that
rate should be locked in.
so when I was a kid, my great aunt Phyllis, she would give me these slips for Christmas and birthdays, that were like what is the word for those? They were so she bought them with her money. It would be like a $50 thing, and then in 30 years that would double, and I could cash it out.
That would be a
Um,
bond.
Bond, that's what it is. I actually I have like an envelope with a few of these, like, but I used the first one at the 30-year mark, and she had got it. I think it was the year I was born, actually.
Wow.
So I think I had turned 30 or 31 or something like that. And uh, it was weird because it wasn't exactly double. It
Right.
was like I think it was a $75 one, and I think I got $154 in change.
Yeah.
And I'm not well versed in this stuff, so I guess the longer you hang on to them, the more you can cash them out for. Is that what it is?
Sort of. I don't exactly know what a bond is. Okay, for one thing we should have said when this conversation started, we are not financial advisors. We don't know anything about
Oh
finances. We're just
God,
talking about
no!
what we vaguely understand. So, not
Right.
financial advice.
What we
Um,
vaguely understand and Google last second.
exactly. Um, from my understanding, a bond is basically um it's a stock It's basically like having a stock. You have a set interest and a set date for it to mature, which would be the 30 years, which is really long time for it to mature. And then you get your investment back plus whatever the rate was. Now,
yeah, it's like America, I guess it's the country's way of borrowing the money and repaying
right.
you back. And I think you technically can cash them out sooner, but like the return is not as good at all, or something like that.
Because that's why they issue war bonds. A war bond is an investment in the country's battle with whatever entity they're at war with. And the government basically says, you lend us this money, we'll pay you back at this interest rate when we're done with the money.
Right.
So, I mean, oddly enough, what comes to mind is that an episode of Golden Girls, Rose found a bunch of war bonds from her hometown that, if cashed, would have bankrupted the town.
Oh my god.
Though, of course, at the end of the episode, there's like this super secret statue fund. Why statues? I don't know. But it's St. Olaf. And that would have covered the entire bond.
Oh, but she never cashed them?
She tore them up. Therefore, they were gone. Oh. Yeah.
I used to hate shows or movies that ended like that. Like,
yeah.
Why do you have to make us lament every choice that was ever made in this entire thing I just watched? Like, all that just for this to be true. Oh,
that was the worst part about the original run of Roseanne, the TV show. Was that all up to it, the season finale, or series finale, at the series finale, they said, oh, Darlene was actually Becky, and Becky was actually Darlene. We just I switched them while I was writing the book because I thought that it would make for a more interesting story to have them live it that way instead. And Dan actually passed away from the heart attack that happened in the season finale of last season. So he was actually dead. So, and it's like, that was...
Well, he didn't die in the show, did he?
Yeah. Well, the thing is that when they brought back Roseanne and just called it the Connors, their excuse was, sort of, if I remember right, the first episode, they had Dan wake up and say, whoa, I had this terrible dream.
Oh, they went that route with it.
Yeah. So, and then, of course, Roseanne had her weird episode of tweeting semi-racist to racist things while on sleep medication. And
right.
Now, I will say, while I don't condone what she said, there is a grain of truth to what she said about why it happened. Sleep medication can put you into a state of lucid issues to where if you overdose, but you're still not falling asleep, you will think you're dreaming, but you won't actually be dreaming. So because you won't be asleep, and you could literally say something that you didn't mean because you thought you were dreaming, so you just rambled something off. The only problem was she had to type this, so that's not, I mean, you're kind of, I'm not sure, but motor functions when you're in that semi-lucid, dreamy-like state, I'm not sure how strong that is. So, weird stuff. Weird shows.
I don't know, like, I would hate to think she would be crazy enough to immediately try to sabotage the show.
Well, it wasn't that. I mean, it was like halfway through the first season of the new show, and like I said, like you said, is that I don't think she would want to sabotage her comeback. So
Right.
it does sound like, this is really fishy, but I can't condone the comments that were posted, but weird stuff. Because I know,
Yeah.
like, when I take too much melatonin, which is a
Hmm.
a sleep aid, uh,
Yeah.
I will end up having really, really weird dreams. I mean,
I've heard that.
I've had dreams where I am basically Batman, and these are vivid. I mean, I can remember myself, perched on a building, watching someone as they are going and dragging someone off into an alley and then swooping down and beating the tarnation out of them to stop them. So it's like, I do know that these drugs these sleep inducers do weird stuff to your mind. So
Oh my
that's why
gosh,
I can't
when
just write off that maybe she was having, like she said, a sleep aid induced rant.
right. When we went to St. Simon's Island in Georgia for vacation last year. On the way there, bear in mind it's summer. It's dead in the middle of summer. It's like August 1st or something like that. And I get sick on the way.
Oof.
Um so I get sick on the way. My mom called it a summer cold. Whatever you want to call it. It was miserable.
Yeah, they
And I
don't
felt
care.
really bad for my aunt who I was traveling with. But before we actually got to St. Simon's, we stopped in Savannah and spent the night there. Savannah is a very historic, beautiful town. I've heard that, like, it's one of those, like, the people are the scariest part kind of, like, it's apparently it can get a little crime heavy when it wants to, but like it is absolutely gorgeous and like great food. And our hotel was really funky and cool and nice people there. And um so uh I'm uh past I what did she get? NyQuil. It was NyQuil. I was like, sniveling and coughing and just a wreck. And my mom gives me NyQuil. On NyQuil alone, I vividly remember nothing too crazy, but like hanging out with friends. I could hear people crystal clear. When I woke up, my aunt told me that like I was talking in my sleep, like laughing and talking like somebody was there, like I was
Yeah.
on the phone or something. It was so vivid. So, and that was just NyQuil. That's not prescription. I guess it's believable, so I agree with you on that.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I could believe that she had these weird dreams and was in a weird dream state, but, drugs be drugs. They do weird things to you.
Right.
I gotta say it. I'm Batman. Okay. Oh, I actually have a story that's interesting. I've
Oh,
been
yeah.
I've watched YouTube all the time because I am crazy and I have nothing better to do. Uh, so I've been watching a channel called What the Hales. That's Hales, like the frozen ice that comes down from the sky. Just making sure YouTube Central censors. I said Hales. Okay, there we go. That cleared up. Uh,
Just to let you know, you cut out a little bit for me, but I don't know whose fault that was. But I
probably
did want
just
to
a
give
connection
you a
fault.
heads up.
It's either end, especially
Okay.
with how my audio was like 30 minutes ago.
Right.
So,
Okay. Go
um,
ahead.
But I've been watching that channel, and uh, what they are they live in Ohio normally, and what they do is they buy storage units from auctions and sell off the remainder. Well, they've decided, or the owner, Nathan Hales, and his girlfriend, George, decided that like 3 years ago that they would buy property in Florida and start doing the same thing down there. So they moved down there during the winter now, and they go through storage units and buy properties and stuff like that. Well, the town or city that they moved to, I'm assuming it's a town because it's really small, um, is apparently super corrupt. And while they were not even at their property, they got charged for like 1,700 gallons of water, but there was no one using their water because no one was at that property. So
Wow.
how did that happen? And they've been having this back and forth, and now it's getting really spicy down there. Apparently, this like last week or so, there was supposed to be a town meeting, and of course, Jeremy Hales wanted to pay his water bill because, either way, he pays his bills. And he's been disputing the fees because of the way the town has been run and charging things, as well as, that super large amount of water that he is not happening from him, because he literally had all the plumbing redone so that the water runs above ground. You could see if there was a break in his plumbing to where it would be leaking or something like that. And, there's absolutely no way that anything could go wrong. And then he comes to find out that the town never installed a check valve on any of the water lines. And what a check valve does is that when the water pressure drops in the town's water system, that can cause a backflow from everyone's property. So the check valve prevents water from flowing back into the town system, which the flow of water back into the system causes the meter to go, hey, there's water running through, let's count it. So each time that happened, the water went out and in of their plumbing. So they were getting charged for that flow of water, even though it was never actually being used.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So he had a check valve installed on his property with his own money, as well as having all of the pipes changed for being above ground because of all the issues. It was all on his own money. And they're still saying, well, guess what? You're still using a bunch of water, so, you got to pay up your super high bill. It's like, wow, this town is really corrupt.
What town was it again?
It is Otter Creek. It's Otter Creek, Florida, and apparently...
Yeah, no, fuck that. Fuck Florida.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sorry, not sorry.
Basically, it's super small. I mean, it's a very rural community. I mean, I would assume it's similar to the town that I live in, only we have slightly better water and plumbing, which is weird because we have terrible water, but it's still drinkable. Oh. Whereas in Otter Creek, you can't drink the water.
Yeah, the water in Florida when we vacationed there one time was not kind to my stepfather.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
So they've been going on this little weird adventure with the plumbing and stuff for the last 3 years probably, and it has finally come to a head. While he was trying to pay his bills, Otter Creek's town hall is technically an office within the library of the town. So he was coming in, and you have to pay at town hall to pay your water bills or whatever, because small town. And, any town, you can request an itemized bill of your expenses to the town, like your water bill or electrical or gas. I guess gas and water are the only two that you can really do that with, but I'm not sure. So it itemizes it, so you get actually a breakdown what happened, where this flow came from, or whatever. And the town clerk, the main town clerk, for some reason couldn't do basic math. So it would take her like half an hour to do anything, and then she'd still come out with the wrong numbers. So, and then while he was in this in her office in the town hall, which is technically her office, she decided it was a good idea to evict him from the town hall by pushing him out the door, where in Florida that would be considered battery, because, and it's especially worse because it's a government official who is committing the battery. So he actually went through with charges for that. And on top of that, he is suing the town for all the financial records that the town should have on hand and be able to present at any town hall meeting. So this town is messed up beyond messed up.
Oh, hopefully she wins.
Yeah, Jeremy should win, but it's crazy.
Yeah, he.
Yeah. The other thing is that apparently a lot of people on the internet don't know how towns and cities work. So people are saying, you're going to bankrupt the people of the town just so that you can sue the city. No, that's not how a town works or a city. A city is like a business. They have articles of incorporation, and that gets them to, become a city. And by doing so, they have a set of responsibilities, basically the public works, which be roads and water and electrical and all the utilities that you use. The infrastructure is on the town or city. So when you sue a town or city, you are suing literally the entity that had the articles of incorporation, not the people of the city.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I'm sure no one who is following this will ever hear my explanation, and but that's what's going on. It's entertaining. It's very entertaining.
Yeah, for sure.
But so the worst part about the story recently is that the outgoing mayor had shut down the library and city hall and prevented the incoming council members from being sworn in for about a week or so.
Jeez.
So that there is super sketchy and illegal. So are they trying to get rid of evidence, or are they trying to just prevent anyone from serving them as the town? It's fascinating.
Politics, even at a small level, still sucks.
But if anyone's interested, the channel is called What the Hales, and you can watch a playlist on their channel with the whole shabeel. All right. I'm out of topics.
I think we got it pretty good.
Yeah. So
period of time, just yammering.
We're at a good enough time to stop. Thank you everyone for listening. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, follow doodly-doo buttons. Do you have anything you want to leave the audience with?
I mean, these episodes are so long now, it's hard to pinpoint something to be like, hey, tell me.
Right.
What town do you live in? No, I'm just kidding.
No, yes, that's exactly.
Tell us, where do you live?
We
Do
will
you
do
like
reverse
where you
stalking.
live?
We will find you.
No. Oh, tell me about your best and worst dentist experiences. Going back to the beginning of this conversation, because we've all been there, done that at some point in our
Right.
lives. So yeah, that's what I want to know. Other than that, thanks for listening if you made it this far, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.